Hello, SalonCentric. Daniel Mason Jones here at Muse Salon and Spa in Atlanta, Georgia. And I am so proud tonight to be introducing you to Instant Highlights, a new express lightening service by L'Oreal Professionnel. So I'm going to walk you through two models tonight. This is something that's kind of unusual for a Facebook Live, but just to show the power of the Instant Highlights, we've already went ahead and highlighted Macy's hair. We're going to pop that formula on screen in just a little bit. But this service is so incredible for the salons, and if you guys know me at all, you know that I am all about the power of business behind the chair as an artist. So studies and research are showing right now that our guests are coming to the salons almost half the visits that they were before, and that's based on the amount of time that they're having to dedicate to the salon experience. With Express Instant Highlight service, this is a way to get our guests to come back into the salon more frequently because they don't feel like they're going to be balled and chained to the salon all day long. I went through and prepped Macy's hair using 20 volume and our developers. It is going to be so beautiful. And what I did was I went ahead and highlighted, and as you're going through the service, you'll see me on my next model in just a little bit as I start to do the process. I went through, sectioned out my sections that I wanted. I wanted to give her a lot of pop around the hairline. Of course, I'm in Atlanta where everybody wants to be super blonde, and even a level 10 isn't quite blonde enough. So I went through, sectioned out some beautiful face frame pieces for her, and then I took I mixed it with Smart Bond, and then I took my heat tool. This is not a flat iron, guys. This is a special heat tool designed by L'Oreal Professionnel that's going to give you exactly what you need to deliver the blonde. So after you have the color applied, you're able to close this and just heat the hair up. Now I've already done this on Macy's hair. We started at probably 10 minutes until 6 doing this process. And you can actually pass this back and forth on the hair 10 to 15 times just to give it enough heat to get this activated. So then you can let her process 10 to 15 minutes, let it cool down. I'm going to actually open one of these foils to see how much it's already lifting, just because, well, that's the artist in me. We're going to open this up and see what lift we're already getting. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're already starting to get some lift here. She's a natural level 7. You all know we're going to lift through some warm tones, typically orange, to get through those 3 levels of lift that we need. So her hair is going to continue processing, and since I opened that foil and let the cooler air in, I'm going to heat it up just one more time with another pass. So I'm going to welcome lots of questions from you guys. We'll also share some before and after, or not the after yet. We're actually going to reveal Macy at 6:40 after this Facebook Live is over, and just to show you what she looks like and how fast the service actually went. So we're going to pop up an image of the before right now and let you see what Macy came in with. She was already a blonde. Like I said before, her natural base is a level 7. And we just wanted to add a couple of bold highlight pieces. And we all know an express service in the salon, if your guest comes in for a single process and maybe you're booked in a 30 to 45 minute spot, this is a great way to increase your revenue by an extra $100, $120 in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully you all are seeing the image there. And I am actually going to send Macy off now. She's going to finish processing. My team are going to get her shampooed and styled. So in the next 25 or so minutes, we'll let you see the reveal. And I'm going to introduce you my next model. Her name is Tony Lynn. And she's actually a stylist here in our salon, so I wanted to pull her in. She's got beautiful hair. And you all can see now that she already has highlights. She started to have a little bit of regrowth. Her hair was probably done 4 or 5 weeks ago. So what I want to do is just open this up. She's got a lot of bold blonde pieces around the front hairline, which is exactly what I just did for Macy. But I'm going to go through and open this up, give her a few more bold pieces. Summertime's almost here, and of course we would like to lighten that up. And I would love to hear questions from you guys. So I'm just going to start right now taking sections. I typically work on diagonals in the salon. I feel as a stylist that when you work on diagonals, you can cover more space quickly. And I think that's a really important thing. Even if I were doing a single process retouch, I work on angles throughout the head. So I'm just going to section her hair off. I'm going to work a little bit behind the bolder blonde pieces that you see here. And you see that there's a little bit of negative space here that we can really come in and lighten up. So I'm going to section this off and get started on Tony's hair. And you'll see exactly how amazing this product is and how it works. One of the big things that I would also tell you as you're working with heat and foil is to make sure that as you're working with this, that you keep the foils away from your guest face. You definitely don't want to burn that. If you're heating the hair up to even 100 degrees, when you lay that against the face, it could be an uncomfortable experience. So making sure that if you're working closer to the hairline, that you just protect that hair as you drop it down. If you're used to working with balayage, you always have cotton in the space anyway, so maybe just a layer of cotton there. So I'm just going to section off her hair, take a little bit of a weave here, and I'm going for almost a medium to large stitch. You can see the section that I've taken, and again, that's on a diagonal. For those of you that are joining in, I know people are joining from all over right now. We are doing an instant highlight service by L'Oreal Professionnel. This is an incredible service to help boost revenue in the salon, but also to help expedite your service and business behind the chair.
Daniel, you're getting a lot of love. Natalia, Christine, and Juliana say hi.
Hi, everyone.
For this technology.
Thank you so much for your love and support always, ladies. I appreciate you. So I just have my lighteners already pre-mixed. We'll give you the ratio of how this is mixed. It's a beautiful consistency. And of course, I'm a major fan of L'Oreal Professionnel. I've worked with this product now for 17 years this month. I cannot believe that I've been a hairstylist and colorist this long, but it's been an amazing journey. For those of you that follow me out in the social world, or maybe you've taken classes from me in the past, you know that I am super dedicated to making money behind the chair. And my biggest mission statement is that hairstylists never retire. And I always talk about that. And when you think about it, you have to ask yourself if you've ever met a hairstylist that's retired. And a lot of times the answers that I get when I ask that question is that we love our craft and we love what we do. But the reality is, so many times we work so hard behind the chair, all of us, no matter where we are, we work behind the chair diligently for long hours. And number one, we don't charge enough, or maybe the services take too long. So I feel like as we're passing the torches to the younger generation of hairstylists, that we're able to give them tools and equipment like this to help really elevate the game for them as artists in our profession. I think it's truly a beautiful thing.
So Daniel, for someone who does regular highlights, will this be like completely new to learn?
No, you're still doing the same techniques and patterns as you would in a traditional highlight. I'm not going to go to the scalp, obviously, so if you have that client that's dedicated to having the blonde all the way to the very top, and we all know that client, right? So this is not going to be the service for them, because the amount of heat that we're going to be using here is just not, you're taking a risk at making it uncomfortable for the guest. So no, but if you're doing anything that has a diffuse, soft look, for me, I love to work with multiple colors at the same time inside the salon. So if maybe my associate had already applied my guest base color, now I would go back in behind my associate's work, or maybe my associate's applying the base color on this side of the head. Now I can go in on this side and do the highlight. So you're able to really knock out two services in one. And I feel like that's really an important thing. I know a lot of people often will say to me, like, no, my guest really loves the experience. They love to hang out in the salon all day. I'm like, they really don't, because they're definitely aiming in a different direction right now. So I folded this to secure it on the top, and you notice that I gave it one fold back at the bottom. This is just going to make sure it's secure. And you'll see that I just take this heat tool, and I'm going to simply slide up and down 10 to 15 passes. It's really an amazing service. And I know there's probably a lot of you guys right now that are thinking, okay, lightener, developer, and a heat tool, this is not going to be good for the hair. One thing that I will tell you, being a partner with L'Oreal Professionnel for 17 years, is that we are never as a company going to do anything to jeopardize the integrity of our guest hair or the integrity of us as stylists. So it's absolutely not going to damage the hair. And I also mixed in Smart Bond, which, can I just ask right now, how many of you guys are using Smart Bond? If you're using Smart Bond, type yes in the comments below and let us know that you're using. And also, if you're using it, tell me what you love about it. Tonight, after I get home, I'll be reading through all these comments and giving you love right back. I know there's so many of you guys that are on tonight watching, and I'm sure you'll be sharing. So thank you in advance for that. And I would love to have more questions from you all. I'm taking another section here off the top, keeping my weaves consistent. So I'm doing medium to thick slice weaves here, and just going right into the top of her head. I'm not going to work in her part line because I really want to create these pops from the interior.
Kristen and Christine have confirmed they love using Smart Bond. Yes, always. Love how it makes the hair feel life-changing.
It is literally life-changing. And as a stylist behind the chair, I'll have to say from an economical standpoint, it's a game changer. When you have a guest in your chair and you're able to add this service, which really doesn't add any additional time to the guest experience, and you're able to elevate that ticket $35 to $45, let's just say that you're seeing 10 guests a day. That's $450 a day. 5 days a week is almost $2,200. 50 weeks a year, that's an extra $100,000, guys. So again, I'm obsessed with numbers and artistry. I know a lot of you hairdressers are like, "Ugh, I hate math and numbers," but we really have to think about all these things through, because it's a great way to generate a better life for ourselves.
Daniel, what are some tips that you can tell hairdressers about how they can easily sell Smart Bond to guests in their chair?
Okay, can I be totally honest with you guys? I'm going to, right? Hopefully you guys won't kill me later. So for me inside the salon, when I would talk about the Smart Bond service, and I knew that it was going to be an additional $35, and I would start to have that conversation, and we already had an elevated ticket anyway, the guest was like, do I really need this service? And I would simply say this to them: look, it's the best 3 glasses of wine that you'll never drink, and you're going to see the investment right away. It's just going to make your blonde look super amazing and healthy. And when you give them like an analogy with wine or Starbucks, they're going to jump it every time, because they know that they're already spending that disposable income elsewhere, so why not with us?
And Daniel, Chrissy just joined. Can you do a recap of what we're doing on this Facebook Live?
Absolutely. So thank you all so much for joining in tonight. So I am using Instant Highlights by L'Oreal Professionnel. This is an amazing lightening service that's new to us. It's actually going to be available at SalonCentric in July, so you can check that out at SalonCentric.com. And this product is amazing. It's a lightener like we've all come to love and trust from L'Oreal Professionnel. However, this lightener can be placed in a foil away from the scalp area and away from the skin. And you can actually do highlights in 10 to 15 minutes. My first model tonight, I did her 10 minutes before we went on live. Heated her up. She was almost processed by the time I sent her back for a shampoo. And this Facebook Live tonight is dedicated for 30 minutes. So what you all are going to see in the next couple of minutes is my model that I had basically taken down at 6:10 away from this chair. You're going to see her finished and completed around 6:40 tonight. So I want you guys to realize this product absolutely works. And thanks again for tuning in with us. So right now, how many of you type the word love if you love this in the comments below? So what I'm doing is I'm going down into the hairline, and I'm trying to feather this off the regrowth area almost into a V formation, working down mid-shaft to ends. And I don't, as a colorist, I know we all color differently. I love how you color if you're getting great results, but for me, I don't like to do the spaghetti motion when I'm coloring hair. So I like to work all the way down to the end of the foil and then simply flip the hair back up and just make sure that my product is light. I always believe in working clean. If you guys know me at all, my favorite quote in the world is how you do anything is how you do everything. So I believe in working clean and precise. Especially if you're doing balayage in the salon too, same thing. How it lifts is how it lays, or how it lays is how it lifts.
And Kristen and Tamika are sending their love. Love.
Hi ladies. I can feel the love all the way over here. So I'm going to take this again and just pass it through a couple of times. Now I know you've seen me folding up the last couple of foils. I'm actually not going to fold this one because I was getting a little bit of resistance here, but also know that I've had practice with this. So your first couple of times, make sure that you have it folded so that it's secure. So I'm going to pass this up and down.
And just repeat for the audience, how long does the process take?
So this process, this is essentially 10 to 15 minute highlights. And just remember, again, 10 to 15 is how many passes that you can go back and forth on this particular foil placement. So 10 to 15 minutes and 10 to 15 passes. Super easy.
And Daniel, how many levels of lift does it give you?
You just stumped me on that question. I'm believing 6 levels. So 6 levels of lift. Sorry, sometimes you get nervous. If you guys have ever done a Facebook Live, you know how nervous I am right now. So I get all my information confused. 6 levels of lift. So my first model, she was a level 7, and I was just really gold to get her up 3 levels. And on Tony here, I really would like to see her move 4, maybe 4 levels, just to get her to a nice golden blonde. So you can see that I've completed this side. This is Tony Lynn's heavy side, and this is her light side, so where the hair parts. So I've only done 3 packets on this side. I'm actually going to work with 2 packets on this side. And I'm sure a lot of you right now, if you're wondering about price, throw me a heart. Because price is something that we always talk about in the salon, and a lot of times we feel guilty for charging what we're worth. Me, again, I've been a hairstylist for 17 years. I've gone through tons and tons of training with L'Oreal Professionnel. I've been all over the world with L'Oreal Professionnel, and I've invested so much money into my education. When I think of color and face frames, I think about the same philosophy as a trim versus a haircut. We all know if we pick up our shears, a trim is a haircut. We still open and close the same amount of times, and it still was the same time reservation. Same for this. If I'm going to be doing a placement of highlights, this would be considered a face frame highlight for me. And in our salon, we do face frame, partial, and full. So for me, I would charge $98 for these 5 packets. And if I were to start to work in the crown of the head, that would be a partial. That's $138 for me. And then if I were to go into the nape area at all, that would be $208. So you all have your own price based on the demographic and area that you're in and the level of expertise that you come along with. I think price has always been something that we as hairstylists love to talk about, which is also based on supply and demand too. So it depends on how big of a demand you have in your salon on your time. I'm going to go ahead and start taking my next sectioning around the hairline, and I'm working diagonal forward. I'm just going to piece this out. And I'm only going to put in 2 packets on this side.
Daniel?
Yes.
We're going to need to stop our video for a little, for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
We'll turn back on.
Perfect.
Keep working.
We're taking an audio break. We'll be right back. Are we back?
So Daniel, can you recap for us what you're doing?
Absolutely. So right now I'm working with my second model of tonight. So make sure you stay until the end because we're going to reveal the first model that I started working with in the beginning to show you how this entire service can be done start to finish and styled in 30 minutes. That's right, 30 minutes. Highlights, shampooed, smart bond treatment, and blown dry in 30 minutes. Our salon, we work pretty quickly just because we understand the type of client that we have inside of our salon space. We're located in Atlanta, Georgia, and this area, we're in the suburbs. It is kind of a higher end area. So you have to understand that the type of client that's coming to our salon, their time is precious. So they want to get in the salon and out of the salon as quickly as they can. So this service is absolutely amazing. It's called Instant Highlights by L'Oreal Professionnel, and it's a great express lightening service. What I'm doing is I apply the color inside the foil. I'm working on diagonal forwards, and I'm just going over the hair with a light heat just to help move this along. My goal is a 9 gold, so I want to have like a really beautiful buttery color on Tony Lynn's hair because she's got a lot of natural copper pigment. When I spin her around, you'll see her skin is like, she's perfect. And so this is just an amazing service. I am all about working smarter, not harder in the salon, and us hairstylists charging what we're worth, really giving our clients everything that they deserve, but us also being able to walk away at the end of the day for retirement one day because yes, all of us are going to be old. So anyhow, I'm just taking small weave sections, small to medium here, and I'm pulling all of this forward. I'm working away from the scalp area just because of the heat that I'm going to be placing on these particular foils. And if you're just joining in, I want you to know that when you're working with this, you want to keep the foil packets off the guest's ears, necks, or face area because it is conducting heat. and it could be a little bit uncomfortable. Just like if you were to flat iron your hair and drop it against the face, it's going to kind of startle them a little bit. So make sure that you're keeping them super comfortable. Are you comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. You also need to think about the experience. You guys realize that we're creating an experience every time the guest walks into the salon or our space, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. So think about each and every time, what is that experience like, and what are they saying about you to their friends?
So Daniel, Becky is wondering, where is your salon located?
So I am in the suburbs of Atlanta. I know it sounds fancy to say Atlanta, but I'm actually in Johns Creek, Georgia. We are about 19 minutes north of Atlanta, depending on traffic, but we're tucked away in the burbs. Anybody else from Atlanta on the live? Go ahead and type ATL in there. ATL proud. So I'm finishing up on my last section here. I've only taken 5 packets, and if you're just learning to do this, you should fold the bottom, but I'm going to fold the top. And of course, because you guys are watching, my folds are not being perfect. It's like the ponytail. And here we go. If you're first time doing this, go ahead and flip this up at the bottom. I've been doing this for just a little while, so I'm comfortable with how it's laying. And 10 to 15 minutes process time, and I'm gonna work 10 to 15 passes on the hair. I would love to answer any questions that you guys have, because I'm sure you have a lot of questions out there. So this is 284 degrees, and this is actually not a flat iron. This is a heat tool designed by L'Oreal Professionnel that's going to give you exactly what you need. So do not, I beg you, do not use your flat irons for this service. This is a very special plate, and it's designed to work on the foil. So if you know anything about chemistry at all, just know that heat and molecules, all this are designed to work together. L'Oreal Professionnel has a lot of patented chemists that are working on this. So do not use your flat irons, but it's 284 degrees.
So Daniel, can you tell the audience again about the full system? So it comes with the iron, the foil?
So yeah, it's really cool. I'm actually working on my last piece right now. And it's a special foil. This is not just regular foil that we use inside the salon. Again, I cannot express how important our tools are. So this is just, it's a little box of foil that you're going to be able to pick up at SalonCentric in July or on SalonCentric.com. And those of you that don't know, we have an amazing SalonCentric app that will absolutely change your life. So, and then this is our lightener. You'll see it's in a perfect little box. This is it. And you're going to mix it 2 to 1. You're only able to use 20 volume or 30 volume Maja Cream developer. You want to stay away from our Blonde Studio collection developers. It is to work only with our Maja Cream developers. And then you're going to add your Smart Bond like you always would. I typically add somewhere between 5 milliliters, maybe just a little bit more depending on the density of hair and also the texture of hair. So this is really amazing, and it looks so good in the salon too. So I'm going to let Tony Lynn process here, and I would love to take all the questions that you guys have while we wait on Macy to come out. I'm just going to run back over and see on the heavy side and let you see what the hair is looking like. See guys, I work really fast. I've even finished before I was supposed to here on this live. So you can see that it's already lifting, and it's really beautiful. I'm going to heat this up again. Every time I open the foil, heat's escaping. So I'm just going to go back and put the heat right back in there, but she's lifting to a really beautiful color.
Daniel, just to recap, one more time, what are you showing the audience?
So this is Instant Highlights by L'Oreal Professionnel. It is an amazing lightening service that we can now provide, or not yet. In July, we can provide to our guests inside the salons. Why I'm such a fan of it is because we're going to be able to get our guests in and out in a much faster manner. There's a lot of times that we'll paint in a balayage or a foil, and it seems like it lasts, or it takes forever to process. This is going to cut through that. Now, of course, you're going to have special situations. If someone comes to you and they've colored their hair at home, which we all have had that client, especially here lately, they've colored their hair with a box color at home. I wouldn't recommend this for color correction to try to cut through that, because you don't know exactly what the pigments are or what chemicals are in their hair existing. So you don't want to create a liability there. So make sure you're always having communication. Consultation is key when the guest is coming into the salon, to really talk to them about what the service is going to be. because in their minds, when they see a heat tool, just like a lot of you thought it was a flat iron, again, this is not a flat iron, it's a specialized heat tool that heats to 284 degrees, and it's designed to work with foil. So this is an awesome service. For me in the salon, I see, we were doing some filming earlier today, and a typical day for me in the salon is somewhere between 20 and 30 guests a day. I do cut and color. So services like this really work for me in the salon because I like to get my clients in, I like to get them out and keep them happy. You can see a lot of my work over on Instagram at Daniel Mason Jones. You can see the blondes that I do. You're going to be seeing a lot of videos with this particular product because I am in love. I'm like, I will single-handedly be the ambassador for Instant Highlights. I first was introduced to this in Spain last year on our global forum experience with L'Oreal Professionnel. And when I saw it on stage from one of my teammates, Shelly Gregory, I saw her painting with it and I was like, I have got to get my hands on that, and I couldn't get it quickly enough. So being able to introduce it and to be the first one here in the U.S. to introduce it to you makes me so proud. And I hope you all are loving what you're seeing. Make sure you stay tuned to the very end because Macy's reveal is going to be amazing.
And Daniel, we have a question for
Yes.
Camry. Would you also tone after using Instant Highlights?
So the question that just came through is, would I tone after using Instant Highlights? That's really going to be based on your own desired level with your guest. You know, now I feel like we've been living in the ice age, right? Everybody wants to be icy blonde or that gray tone. So I feel like if they still want to have that particular shade, absolutely. My go-to formula for that is always 10.21 Dia-Lite. It is my absolute favorite, and sometimes I'll even mix 10.22 in clear just to get that really beautiful cool tone. You'll see a lot of those images over on my Instagram page. But for Tony Lynn's hair, the way her hair is lifting right now is a beautiful golden blonde, so I would not use that service. I would just follow up with a Smart Bond treatment at the shampoo bowl, step 2. And of course, I'm always going to recommend step 3 for my take home with my guests if they've had a Smart Bond service in the salon. Just to keep their hair looking amazing and get the most out of Smart Bond, I'm going to recommend the take home products. So yes, you can tone if you would like.
Perfect. Daniel, we're going to bring up your model's before photos so you can talk about what you're
Amazing. So yeah, I want you to see the before of Tony Lynn. We showed you Macy earlier, and here's Tony Lynn. So my intended result, as you all can see, she is a power blonde around her face frame, and I wanted to bring that back a little bit farther. So I went just beyond her ear, and I wanted to have just a little bit more lightness. If she decides to pull her hair up for the summertime, whatever it is, she can get a really beautiful, bolder blonde look on the interior of the hair. And I think that's one of the most amazing things right now. I see a lot of baby lights, I see a lot of fine weaves around the hairline, and that's always spectacular. But what I'm really enjoying to see right now is the dimensional pieces that we see. I see, you know, when I first started hair 17 years ago, it was chunky highlights. We don't want to see those. But this is a great way to integrate something that's almost like a bali foil or a foliage, whatever you want to call it, just to have that dimension on the inside. And I really lightened her again from probably about 1.5 inches away from the hairline down. So I anticipate that her ends are going to be a level 9 gold, and her mid shafts may lift somewhere around a level 8, 9, also in that golden tone. If I were to gloss her with a color gloss, I would use a 9.03 by Dia-Lite.
Daniel, just to remind everyone, there's another question about
Sure.
the heat on the iron.
So 284 degrees. I'm going to show you the plates again for those of you that are joining in a little bit later. You can see that there's special plates on the interior. I'm actually able to touch this and not burn myself because these plates on the inside are designed to heat just the foil. So do not try any of your amazing flat irons that you have in the salon. I know you all have great tools, but this is not what you want to do. So that's great. I would love to take another question.
Daniel, tell the audience where they can find you if they want to take a class with you.
Oh gosh, so I am an educator also for L'Oreal Professionnel and for SalonCentric. So if any of you guys are going to be at the Orlando Hair Show this weekend, I will be there, Daniel Mason Jones, teaching 3 programs, Make Money Not Excuses. I'll be teaching a social media revolution program and also a branding program. So if any of you guys out there are wondering maybe why your clients aren't loyal to you or you feel like you've attracted the wrong crowd, I'm going to go ahead and tell you you've branded yourself wrong. And I'll teach you how to do that. I'll teach you how to build an avatar through social media, how to really, really push the limits. A little secret about me behind the chairs, I generate just over $1 million a year working 4 days a week. So listen to what I have to say, because I love nothing more than helping other hairstylists grow. And if you are any of those hairstylists that have taken these classes, please say take these classes in the comments. Me and my good friend Jessica Todd are going to be launching a new program called The Ultimate Shift at the L'Oreal Professionnel Soho Academy in New York City this December. So you can come to New York City and see the city decorated for Christmas and also elevate your game as an artist.
Great, Daniel. Can we see your first model?
Yes. So we're going to do the time on this. It's exactly 28 minutes from start to finish with my gorgeous, gorgeous model Macy. So we're going to lead Tony Lynn away here. She's ready for her cleansing service. We have a beautiful treatment room here at the salon. And this is Macy. So have you seen your hair, Macy?
Yes, I love it.
So she loves her hair, and it looks really, really beautiful. I had Christina working behind scenes to make everything perfect for me. So I'm going to bring Christina over, and I'm going to have her, sorry, we're tangled up in a cord here. Technical difficulty. So Christina, could you just tell us a little bit about what this was like as you were taking out the foils? How did it feel? What did it look like?
So this was beautiful. I mean, it came out and it was just such a bright buttery blonde, and it was gorgeous. It was incredible. And the time frame, it's amazing.
So start to finish, guys, literally 30 minutes. We started her hair. She's completely finished with the process. She's even lighter. We have bright blonde pieces. Her hair is perfectly intact, and it feels amazing. 30 minutes start to finish. So
Daniel, we're going to show the quick before photo.
perfect. Yeah, check out Macy's before. And she looks amazing, of course, before, but now we just added that additional blonde. Of course, I joke about in the South, we are blonde-orexic here, so you can never get enough blonde. If you want to learn more about this product, you can check out SalonCentric. We're going to have an education hub that's coming out very soon. It's called the Content Hub. L'Oreal Professionnel, we have an academy in New York City, and we have so many talented artists that are always given the latest and greatest. So I hope you love what you saw tonight. Please share this with your friends, tag your teammates, and if you have questions, I promise, Christina and we will come on tonight, and we will actually answer all of your questions. You can find her on Instagram also at Christina Bunker.
Yep.
And she's amazing. I'll tag her in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for your time, and best of luck with Instant Highlights and L'Oreal Professionnel.